Welcome to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. I wasn't planning to visit that church today. Today I was trying to show you so many parts of the city beside that church. But like a magnet, that church is calling me. And although I have like hundreds of videos of that church, I'm gonna do another one. I hope that church will be that video will be different, because usually every video is different. Let's start with the facade of the church. You know what? Let's start with everything here. It looks like a fortress, and indeed it is a fortress. The Crusader that came to here was surrounded with so many Muslims' enemy, and everything that they built, even churches, looks like a fortress. Then this is the facade of it. One of the problems of that church is that it belongs to everyone except of the Protestant. They have so many problems between the orders themselves. Then there are Catholic here, Greek Orthodox, Armenian, Copts, and more and more and more. There's so many problems. Although it's I don't know if it's not the end of coronavirus, COVID-19. Not a lot of visitors are here, but more than at the beginning of the COVID-19. Then let's go in. And let me tell you that inside the church you can actually visit few important places. But one of the girls just fell, and I hope that she's okay. No, she looks okay. Then right, she's okay, then I'm happy. The first thing that you can actually see here is the stone of the anointing. But that story is, we will talk about later on, because let's continue that story from the beginning. That Jesus walked with a cross on, and they took him to the Golgotha hill, which is uphill here. It's not a very long hill, high hill, but it's very important one. If you're talking about the Temple Mount, Mount Sinai, this is another mount that very important thing happened. Then on top of it, they took his clothes off. Part of the Via Dolorosa station. If you're Catholic, you know what I'm talking about. Then let's climb that hill. It doesn't look like it now, but mainly because the Crusaders built here a plaza because they wanted the disciples to see everything from above. Then we're climbing the Catholic entrance. The exit is Greek Orthodox. Remember, the church belongs to everyone. And it's empty. If you've been here with me or without me, you know how crowded that place is. Then the Golgotha, Calvary, divided into two. Greek Orthodox part, Catholic part. Let's start according to the order. First, that's when they stripped him from his clothes. We saw the chapel from outside the church. Look at the mosaic. I love to talk about that, because you can see here Abraham, Isaac, and Gabriel. Abraham wanted to sacrifice Isaac for God. Gabriel stopped him from doing it, and instead of it, they sacrificed a goat, lamb. That lamb will be Jesus later on, because he came to finish the crucifixion for us. The mosaic wall and the beautiful icons and painting of the Greek Orthodox on here, because their church been burned down at 1808. Then everything is new beside that mosaic. of Jesus as the ruler of the world, and that's from 12th century. Another station of the cross is in front of you. You can see where they nailed Jesus to the cross. On top of it you can see Mary, the mother. And here is Mary Magdalene anointing the body of Christ. In that beautiful picture you can see the three Marys trying to support the mother. And John, the disciple, is next to them. And let's move to here. That is the crucifixion place, but until we reach there, in the Catholic part, you can see the Pietà. You can see Mary with the spear in her heart. When Mary was at the Jewish temple, Saint Simon told her at the presentation of the temple that her son will die in front of her eyes. It will be like a spear will enter to your heart. And here it is, the spear in her heart. And from that moment, Mary will never smile. Listen to you hear the bells. Now you can hear the wood. For so many years, the Muslims didn't let the Christians to use the bells, then instead of it they used to knock on the wood. Here you can see the crucifixion place. That is on top of the cross. You can see 4 letters in 3 languages. Jesus from Nazareth, King of the Jews. To the right you can see John. To the left you can see the mother. While Jesus was on the cross, he asked John to take care of his mother. What you can see in front of you is the Golgotha, the Calvary, the bedrock. Here and there. And if you want to touch it, you have to go to here, put your hands in that small hole, and you will touch the exact place of the crucifixion. Look how beautiful are the stars and the angels. And look how beautiful that painting that actually tells us the story of Jesus in Jerusalem. Herod, Pontius Pilate, laughing at Jesus, beating Jesus. Amazing, isn't it? You can actually stay here for hours. And it's so funny to say, so sad to say, it's quite empty. It's good for you because I can actually do that slowly. Usually when it's so crowded, they kick me out from that place. They're letting me to be here, let's say for 2-3 minutes. Look at the Armenian monk. He will go from one place to another and use the incense next to it, together with him. I mean, not together, but one after one. You will see more different monks. Remember, that place belongs to everyone. And they are doing the same ceremonies, but different orders. We are walking down through the Greek Orthodox exit. And you can see beautiful mosaic on the wall. Now you can see a Greek Orthodox. I found one of my best friends here. He owns a shop here, but just like me, he's not working. But he looks like $1 million, not me. I'm fat. I ate too much. Then, let's go first to the mosaic. You can see here Jesus on the cross. Just visit that place. And after he died, they purified his body just like every Jew. Let me remind you that Jesus wasn't a Muslim guy. He wasn't a Christian guy. He was a Jew. As a Jew, they must purify your body the body of the dead before they bury him. And according to what we believe, this is the stone. You see now the Armenian monk doing the same thing like the Greek Orthodox monk. He's purified every part of the church, and he will climb up to the Golgotha soon. But you can see that the Greek Orthodox already did it. Then, after that, they put a shroud on him and they bury him in the cave. I'm not sure that you're going to see a cave. All right. The Coptic one is doing it as well. See, every time that I'm here, I see different things. We are in an Armenian chapel. In that Armenian chapel, the three Marys saw the crucifixion according to the Armenians. The crucifixion was not so far away from here, there. Usually I'm lighting candles here. Sadly, it's not sadly, he actually is now in the middle of the procession. Later on I will light some candles, at least for Ruby and others that ask me to do that. And this is the most important part. This is the tomb of Jesus. The tomb is not a cave anymore. It's not a cave anymore, mainly because it's been destroyed so many times. If someone wanted to hurt the Christians, the best thing to do is to destroy the tomb of Jesus. But soon I will try to convince you that that was the tomb of Christ. For that, won't be able to go in, especially not with the camera now. Then I won't disturb, of course, the ceremonies here. Look how beautiful is the Greek Orthodox Church. They're having a procession now. Then I will be quiet. But according to them, see where the three candles are? That is the center of the word. At the 4th century, everything that the Jews knew about the Temple Mount was moved to here. Remember, Temple Mount was very important for the Jews, less for the Christians. Then the two chapels here, the first one with the candle is the angel chapel who took care that no one will steal the body of Christ. The inner chapel is the tomb himself. I won't be able to go together now with it because of the ceremonies, but I can tell you that there are some videos of mine with the tomb itself. The sun is in our eyes now. You see the Greek Orthodox reach that area. The Catholic one, the Franciscan, is actually letting him go into that area, although it's not a Greek Orthodox part. But though there are so many parts that belongs to different orders, at the end, the ceremonies, you have rights to enter and pray there as well, because the church belongs to everyone. You already know that this is the Catholic priest, the Franciscan guy already left the religion, and that is where Mary met the gardener Jesus after the resurrection. That's where Mary was standing, Mary Magdalene, and that's where Jesus. Oh, I love the incense. Let me just go in to show you before the other one will come. How beautiful is that Catholic chapel? According to the Catholic, that's where Jesus stood set and was waiting for the crucifixion. Beautiful, modern and classic. And they have a beautiful garden outside. You see that the Greek Orthodox monk is blessing the tomb. Above it, see the light? That belongs to the Armenian. Oh, it's closed. I don't know why. It looks like they're doing something there. But yeah, I can smell that they're cleaning it. That is a beautiful chapel. And in it there are tombs from the time of Jesus. אפשר להיכנס או שהוא זרק אותך?
אנשים החוצה, אבל בסדר.
אוקיי.
So just to understand what we saw.
Can I enter like 1 minute with the video because it's on? Just for 1 minute. Thank you very much. And they're cleaning now, then I will stand. Oh, looks like they're making a video. Then this is real tombs from the time of Jesus. What are you doing here? Oh, wow! I love you! Friends, we are blessed. We are blessed. It's the first time that I see it with light. That's how the Jews used to be buried many years ago, and we believe that if they didn't destroy it, it means that it belongs to someone that's less important than Jesus. Oh, just a blessing. This is the Armenian. Wow! Thank you. Then you blessed me. Thank you very much. And said that, for example, is the ceramic Coptic chapel, and Armenian bless it as well. Wow! Then let's move back to the tombs. Then Jesus was buried in a cave just like you saw now. And that is Joseph of Arimathea place. We know that Joseph of Arimathea gave Jesus his own tomb. And I'm sure that he built himself another tomb next to his master. I'm sure for it. Then in that case, that was part of the garden. And we know, according to the book of John, that the Golgotha, Calvary, crucifixion place, was next to the garden. That's why the crucifixion place is close to the tomb of Jesus. Let's cross to the other side. Do that quickly because they have a ceremony here. Oh. Let's continue, please. You have to smell the incense now. I love that incense. That area shows you the problematic of that church. That church has been destroyed so many times that you can see different columns from different times. 12th century, 4th century. And that door is the toilet. Then if you need to use the toilet, we do have a toilet inside the church. Why? Because for so many years, hundreds of years, the Muslims controlled the entrance to their church. You didn't know when you're going to go in, you had to pay a lot of money, you didn't know when you're going to go out. Then for that, they had a grocery shop here, and even, of course, toilets. The Greek Orthodox just finished renovating that beautiful place. This is kind of the prison of Christ. There are a few prisons of Christ around Jerusalem. But in a way, think about you. You are going to, let's say, a church, to a ceremony. You're just like me. You will be there 10 minutes before it will start, even half an hour before. That's what's happened to crucifixion. In crucifixion time, I didn't know exactly what time they will crucify you. Then until they will, they gave you a place to sit, kind of a prison. According to tradition, that's where he was sitting. His legs were down here. He was tied. And it was difficult for him to live. It was almost... he couldn't. I'm not sure that he tried, but he couldn't. Jerusalem from above, 12 gates, Jerusalem, heavenly Jerusalem. Can we continue? Yes, we can. There's so many chapels on the way. I don't have a few percent of battery, then I will skip those chapels. Greek Orthodox, Armenian chapel. And let's see if I can, I can. Let's go down. When we're going down in history as well. Then this is the oldest part of the church. On the wall you can see graffiti of crosses. And we are reaching the Armenian part. Armenia is so small, but then why they have so many places here in the city and in the church? There is a Christian quarter and there is an Armenian quarter, which are Christian as well. Mainly because they were here 30 years before Constantine converted the rest. Then as a nation, they converted themselves, converted into Christianity at 301. Ararat used to be part of Armenia, but now it was occupied by Turkey. You can see it from Armenia, but it's not owned by Armenia. And in that beautiful mosaic, you can see 9 cities that have been destroyed by the Turkish, by the Ottomans at 1915. What we study from it, nothing. There are so many things that I can talk about St. Helen Chapel, because the history of the Armenians is all over here, but we are skipping that place and heading to the oldest part of the church. And that's when they found the true cross. So many people ask me, how do you know? Is it true? Is it not? Well, we don't know. But there are traditions, ancient traditions, from beginning of time, beginning of the church. And why not to believe that they found the crosses? They actually found 3 crosses. Remember, Jesus wasn't crucified by himself. Then an old, sick Jewish woman was taken to here. 1 cross touched her body, nothing happened. The second one, nothing happened. And the third one, he already knows what's happened. Then you can see St. Helen with a cross, and the place that they found the cross, the exact site is according to tradition right here. But let's talk about what's actually happened here. King Herod used that place as a quarry. The stones from the temple came from here. Then you can see here part of the quarry. Why here? Because here he could find beautiful white stones. Here is part of the quarry. After he died, that place became to be a burial site because no one actually used it. It was owned by the government, but they did nothing with it until the Romans built here a church. And then until then, they used it as a water system. You can see where the buckets, that's the entrance of the buckets. And I don't know if you saw, but you will see it again. You can see the plaster that cover that area. In Jerusalem, it's so difficult to have water, then every drop of water is important. Amazing, isn't it? That's where they found the true cross. And you know what? I love that place. Here you can see a beautiful fresco of Jesus. We don't know if the Crusader from the 4th century. That part belongs to the Catholic, but everyone can come to here and pray. We have to climb all the way up, but again, if we were at the bottom of the church, it means that this is the oldest place. And if we're talking about oldest place, at the other side of the St. Helen Chapel, we are reaching back St. Helen Chapel. There's a door right there that can lead you to remains of the Roman Church. And there's a fresco there from the 2nd century of a boat, and something that was written there, something like, "We came to worship you, our Lord." It might be the first fresco, Christian fresco, in their church. Maybe that can tell you that that was the original church. And that was the original church until the 19th century. At the 19th century, some people actually said that Jesus was crucified after the war, which is true. But that church, that city was totally different 2,000 years ago. Then it might be outside the walls as well. You just saw a Jewish tomb in that place, and Jews always buried outside the city. And in Tel Aviv, my city, and even Jerusalem, there are tombs in the middle of the city, but it used to be outside the city. The Golgotha, we've just been there, it's just above us. Here's the beginning of it, the base of it. And let's go to the last place, and that I don't want to disturb the ladies, but we were above. That is it's a video, you can move and dance. Then we were above it. That is the crucifixion place. Here you can see part of the bedrock of the Golgotha. What we know is that he was crucified around 12, and when he died, 3 o'clock, the earth actually started to shake. And that is a creek, maybe from that time. The Greek Orthodox believes that, the Bible says that a lot of people resurrect, but the Greek Orthodox believe that here is the tomb of Adam, the first man ever. Then in that case, the Golgotha, which is the skull, is obviously the skull of the first man ever. In that room, it's closed now. You can actually visit. It's beautiful room, but you can see a small part from the original cross. And yes, so many people mention that there's so many evidence of small pieces, and if you glue every piece to each other, you will find a huge cross from so many kinds of wood. So what? It's still an important place. That was 30 minutes tour of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. And if you reach that point, please write me something. Tell me that you saw it, because you're brave. And at the description you will see more about the church and fun ways to reach me, to ask me questions, my Instagram, Facebook, and please subscribe my channel. And because I'm not working from February 2020, I will be more than happy if you will buy me coffee. That is a small donation, but it's not a must. I will be your best friend forever. I'm not going in there, but to show you that there is more to see than from that door. You can climb to the roof of the church, but this is beautiful, 2 Ethiopian churches. Let me just show it to you, and I will show you something else. And according to the Greek Orthodox, remember that I told you that everything that happened at the Temple Mount moved to here. According to the Greek Orthodox, that is the crucifixion place of Abraham and Isaac. Church of the Holy Sepulchre. I'm so happy that we've been together. You know that I have so many videos of it, but every video is different. And I didn't plan to be here, but this is my magnet. I cannot visit the city without visiting the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Then see you in my next video. Bye bye.